Yo, Darius Britt here, and today we are taking a closer look at Drive. It was directed by the one and only Nicolas Winding Refn with cinematography by Newton Thomas Sigel. This movie, it's just so much fun. It's one of my favorite flicks. If you want to understand the psychology behind camera placement, camera moving, framing, etc., it really helps to break down other movies to see how they did it. Every movie is a textbook. What I do believe it about that time, let's get into it. Opening shot. The opening shot of this film is amazeballs. We cover the entire scene in one shot, and we communicate a ton of information. We see the maps of the LA streets marked off with escape routes. We see the driver by the window on the phone with his signature coat talking to a client. We see the basketball game on the television nearing halftime, which is important later. And we stop on his bag as he ends the call and heads out. It's a very eloquent shot and one hell of a way to grab your attention starting a film. Cars galore. When Driver picks up a getaway car from his boss Shannon, we get this awesome tracking shot.
Hey, there you are. She's down there. She's on the inside. She is gonna fly. Look like a zombie, kid. Benzodrine, dexedrine, caffeine, nicotine. Oh, you don't smoke. That's right. Better off. Chevy Impala, most popular car in the state of California. Yeah, you.
So the shot does a couple things. 1. Winding Refn is a self-proclaimed fetish filmmaker, and this shot appeals directly to the enthusiasts. We get to see some cool-ass cars. Although Refn has stated himself that he is not a car enthusiast, he does understand their appeal. 2. We really get a feel for the space. 3. I also dig the economy of the shot. At the top of the shot, we get a medium of Driver's boss, Shannon, which is important because it's our first time seeing him. We also get exposition about the car that he's taken to do this whole getaway heist thing on, and we get the key handoff, all in the same shot. Colors. The use of color plays a pivotal role in the aesthetic of the film. We've got complementary colors, giving it that stylish look with the amber yellow lighting and the cool blue shadows. Also worth noting is the use of patterned wallpaper in the film. The wallpaper in Irene's apartment is almost the same color and pattern as the wallpaper in the motel. Little things like this go unnoticed but contribute to the overall visual consistency of the film. This is definitely a production design choice, but it affects the overall look. Car chase. We get to see Driver in action as a getaway driver in the first car chase scene of the movie. Let's take a look. This is a great example of shooting from a narrative perspective because we stay inside the car the entire time with Driver and the passengers. I've never seen a car chase in a movie where we stay inside the car the entire time. We don't actually leave the car until Driver leaves the car, and it works. I never found myself wishing that we could see the action from another angle or through another windshield. It's every bit as entertaining and suspenseful as any other car chase, but it has that added layer of complete authenticity that puts it right over the top as one of the most memorable car chase scenes in cinematic history. Foreshadow. So Driver helps Irene with the groceries. It's his first time in her house. They start getting to know each other. Let's take a look.
So you just moved to LA? You're just new here? Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about this conversation is they frame Driver and Irene right over top of one another. So when you cut between them, they're occupying the same space, almost like a visual foreshadow of their romance and togetherness. We've also got her son and hubby in the right half of her frame with Driver in the reflection, noticeably underlit. Almost like he's an intruder making his way into their lives. Now, if you don't think this was intentional, shortly after they have another conversation with traditional framing. It was definitely intentional. Togetherness. Driver and Irene have spent the whole day together. They're saying their goodbyes and we cover the whole scene in one shot. Shot runs about 1.5 minutes. That's pretty friggin' long, and there are only 7 lines. So that means that 1 minute and 20 seconds of that 1.5 minute long shot is silence. No cuts, no coverage, but it works for a few reasons. 1. There's tension, the good kind of tension, the I want to see these two people get together kind of tension. We know they like each other, we're just kind of waiting to see what they're going to say or do next. They may not be saying a lot, but it's all about what's not being said. 2. The shot works because the eyes have plenty to do. The actors are on opposite sides of the frame, so our eyes have to move back and forth between them to watch their actions and reactions. 3. The composition is interesting. It's not mind-blowing, but there's just enough going on visually to keep it alive. Love the wallpaper, by the way. Glory shots. Refn likes his glory shots. He gets a little lower than usual on his coverage of Driver quite a few times, but again, he's a fetish filmmaker. Glory shots are fun, right? Separate pages. Driver meets with Irene for coffee and a chat. He's about to help her hubby Standard do some dirt, but he checks in with her to see if Standard told her anything. We start with the over the shoulder on both actors. They're almost 2 shots because you see so much of the other actor. And then as the conversation continues and Driver realizes that Irene doesn't know anything, we push in on both actors. By the end, both actors are isolated in their own frames. This job with Standard is one thing that he can't talk about with Irene. This misinformation between them has divided them visually and dramatically. Bloody face. My favorite shot of the whole movie is this one. I just love this shot. We got Driver's face all covered in blood, looking around, looking friggin' crazy. I feel like in any other film, a majority of this shot would have been cut and left on the editing room floor because, well, it goes on forever and technically it's not moving the story forward, but what it does do a great job of is helping set the tone, and man, is it a powerful image. When I think of this movie, that shot is one of the shots that immediately pops in my head. Elevator kisses. Driver and Irene are headed out in an elevator when Driver notices an armed goon riding with them. Let's take a look. This is not an operational elevator. It's a set so they can control the lighting. We kill the light on the goon. The harsh overhead lighting changes right in the middle of the scene and spotlight the back corner where the lip locking takes place. The result is very surreal. Now this is one of those moments where we are very aware that we're watching a movie because the stylized lighting kills the whole suspension of disbelief thing. There is nothing about this movie that asks you to take it seriously. The slasher film. When Driver kills Nino, the movie almost becomes a slasher film. The tone changes, the narrative perspective changes. We're with Driver leading up to the killing, and then we switch to Nino's perspective during the killing. After Driver runs Nino off the road, we stay with Nino. We're close on Nino when Driver runs them off of a cliff. Visually, we keep a fair distance from Driver, and we're much closer to Nino in terms of coverage. I love the shots of Driver with the mask on, cloaked in shadow. Nino almost becomes a victim in what's like a Michael Myers slasher movie. Given Refn's affinity for American slasher movies, it's not really hard to see where he's gotten his influences from. Face off. Driver and Bernie's beef comes to a bloody end during the money exchange. As Driver and Bernie talk in the restaurant, we intercut with the night fight at the money exchange. But when we cut back to the restaurant conversation during the knife fight, Bernie and Driver are in profile close-ups. The profile shots give you that competitive face-off effect, just like what you'd see in promotional photos for boxing matches. After the chaos, it's all over. Bernie's dead, Irene is safe, and Driver's bleeding out from his stab wound. Then we get this jib shot here. The shot is super long. It goes on for about 1.5 minutes. I think the purpose of this shot is kind of to give the audience time to take it all in. We've got the blood on the shoes, we see him bleeding out in the car, we've got no dialogue, no music, at least at first anyway. Just a quiet moment with the protagonist as he reflects on everything. Well, I do believe that about it. If you have scripts or films that you'd like feedback on, or if you just want to book a session with me and ask me a ton of questions about filmmaking or YouTube, you can find info for all of that at dfordarius.com. Well, that's all I got for you. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, go subscribe. You can find me on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or the Twitter, baby. You can also check out my second YouTube channel, Darius Britt, where I vlog about my adventures on the film festival circuit, my first feature-length film, unsound, live casting, vlogs, etc., etc. I do believe that's all I got for you suckers. D-Britt out. Booyah!